My husband's phone lit up with a text. Payment received. The boy won't remember anything about last night. I was reaching for my coffee mug when the notification sound made me glance at Graham's phone sitting face up on the kitchen counter. He'd left it there when he went upstairs to shower, something he never did. The message preview displayed clearly on the lock screen. No name attached, just a number I didn't recognize. My hand froze halfway to the mug. The words didn't make sense. Payment received. The boy won't remember anything about last night. My brain tried to construct innocent explanations. Maybe something about his nephew's birthday party, but Graham's brother lived in Oregon, and we hadn't seen them in 2 years. Maybe a client's son? Graham worked in commercial real estate, not exactly a field where you'd be dealing with children or payments that needed to be hidden. I picked up his phone, my thumb hovering over the screen. 13 years of marriage, and I'd never once looked through his phone without permission. The shower was still running upstairs. I pressed my thumb to the screen, and it unlocked immediately. He'd added my fingerprint years ago, saying he wanted me to have access to everything. The message thread was short, just 3 exchanges over the past week. The first one from Graham. Need the usual arrangement. Friday night, same price. Response from the unknown number. Confirmed. We'll have everything ready. Then Graham again. He's 9 now. Still works. Unknown number. Absolutely. Dosage adjusted for age and weight. No memory. No problem. My vision tunneled. The kitchen tiles seemed to tilt under my feet. 9 years old. Our son Elliot was 9 years old. But Elliot had been at his friend Devin's house for a sleepover last night. I dropped him off myself at 6. Watched him run up the driveway with his overnight bag. This had to be about someone else's child. It had to be. I scrolled up, searching for more context, but the conversation history had been deleted. Only these 3 messages remained. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped the phone. I took a screenshot, sent it to myself, then deleted the evidence of the forward from Graham's phone. The shower cut off upstairs. I had maybe 3 minutes before he came down. I opened his text messages, looking for anything else suspicious. Most were work-related, boring exchanges about property listings and client meetings. Then I saw a thread with someone named Jeremy Walsh from 2 weeks ago. Thanks for the recommendation. The photographer you suggested was perfect. Graham's response. Glad it worked out. He's very professional, very discreet. What photographer? Graham had never mentioned needing a photographer. I heard his footsteps on the stairs. I set his phone back exactly where it had been. Screen down now, and picked up my coffee mug with both hands to hide the shaking. Graham walked into the kitchen, his hair still damp, wearing the navy suit I'd picked up from the dry cleaner yesterday. He smiled at me, the same smile I'd fallen in love with 15 years ago, and kissed my forehead. Morning, beautiful. Did Elliot text yet? My throat felt like it was closing. No, not yet. You know how he is at Devin's house. They probably stayed up all night playing video games. Graham poured himself coffee, his movements casual. He grabbed his phone, checking it quickly, then slipped it into his pocket. No reaction to the message, like it was perfectly normal. I needed to know where Elliot was right now. I pulled out my own phone and texted Devin's mom, Carolyn. Hope the boys weren't too much trouble last night. What time should I pick up Elliot? The 3 dots appeared immediately, then vanished, then appeared again. My heart was hammering. Finally, her response. Pick up Elliot? He wasn't here last night. I thought you'd changed your mind about the sleepover. The coffee mug slipped from my fingers and shattered on the tile floor. Graham spun around, concern flooding his face. Babe, you okay? I couldn't breathe, couldn't form words. Elliot hadn't been at Devin's house. I'd watched him walk up to that door, but Carolyn was saying he was never there. I need to call Elliot, I managed to say. I dialed his number with shaking fingers. It rang 4 times, then went to voicemail. His cheerful voice. Hey, this is Elliot. Leave a message. I tried again. Voicemail. Again. Voicemail. Where is he? I looked at Graham, really looked at him. His expression was perfectly calibrated concern, but something flickered behind his eyes. What do you mean? He's at Devin's house. No. I held up my phone, showing him Carolyn's text. He's not. She says he was never there. Graham's face went pale. Actually pale, like the blood had drained right out. That's impossible. You dropped him off. I saw you leave. Call him, I said. My voice sounded like it belonged to someone else. Someone harder and colder. Call our son right now. Graham pulled out his phone, made a show of dialing. I watched his fingers, watched which contact he selected. It said Elliot Mobile, but I couldn't shake the feeling that he was calling someone else entirely. He held the phone to his ear, waited, then lowered it. Voicemail. He probably left his phone in his bag. That was true. Elliot was constantly forgetting to charge his phone. But the timing, the message, the lie about where he was, none of it made sense unless what? Unless my husband of 13 years had done something to our son? I'm driving over there, I said, already grabbing my keys from the hook by the door. Graham moved fast, putting himself between me and the door, not threatening, just blocking. I'll go. You're clearly upset. I'll check Devin's house, and I'm sure there's been some mix-up. Get out of my way. And what happened next changed everything. Full story is linked below or on my channel.